and welcome back to my channel. Today is a little bit of an update video on just where we're at in preparation for our move. As it stands, we have less than 4 weeks until we officially fly out of South Africa to land in Canada. As you can imagine, things are a little bit busy on our side. I wouldn't say they're entirely chaotic, but if I show you what it looks like around here, around the apartment, it's going to look very chaotic. We have ticked off a lot of things off of our to-do list. We've also got some additional things added to our to-do list, but I will give you an update on where we're at. Also, don't worry, I won't be filming the entire video having not gotten ready for the day. It is now already past 1 p.m. on a Saturday morning and I'm still in my PJs. It was quite a busy week. We went to the Eastern Cape to say goodbye to the family and the farms on that side, and we got back early in the week, but because I gave up 2 days of working, had a lot of work to do and a lot of admin to do as we got back. So today we just tried to have a little bit of a slow morning, but then get straight back into all the things that we need to do to be able to go and feel at peace that we've done all the things that we want to do before we go, which I guess I'm not really sure if that's even possible, but that's what we're aiming for. Okay, I think I'm going to start by getting ready for the day. I've done quite a few things this morning. I had some work emails that I wanted to address to get ready for the week, setting up consultations for the week. And I've done quite a lot of washing in terms of stuff that's either going to go to storage or it's going to be donated or given away or packed to go with us. And also I've been making up kombucha jars because I'm giving away my kombucha slowly over time to people who want to brew their own kombucha, and it's something that I don't think that I can take with me. Anyway, I wouldn't take it with me. It's quite easy to just purchase on the other side and start from scratch. And then I've also been working on another YouTube video that will hopefully go up, I don't know, maybe today, maybe on Monday. Let's see how that goes. Let me go get ready and then I'm going to give you an update about everything and I will show you what it currently looks like over here. Okay, I'm officially ready for today. Today's video is going to be, like I said, a little bit of an update, but there's a few cupboards and things that I want to get done. I don't have that much time because we're going to eat and then I'm going to do some cupboards and film this. And I've been replying to some work emails and we've got about 3 hours until we have a social thing that we're doing because we're trying to fit in time with people as well. Like that is quite important amidst all of this, and it's going to be sad to not be able to spend that in-person time with them. So we want to be saying yes and spending that quality time as much as we can in this last 3 and a bit weeks that we've got left. In terms of a quick update, let me just quickly update you on what has happened from the last time we spoke until today. I went to Stellenbosch and I wanted to get the labor law books to take with me, but they didn't have one and they looked for whether they have it at another branch. They subsequently did contact me and they got them ready for me. Oh, let me not throw books on my head. So I got my whole set of updated labor law books and I will be donating the previous, now technically out of date, but still probably useful for anybody who's maybe studying labor law and familiar with whatever updates came in the last year. While we were in Stellenbosch, we actually decided, this was on our list, but it wasn't a top priority. But while we were there, we decided to go to the Stellenbosch Maties shop. Maties being what we call the Stellenbosch University, I don't know, nickname. I'm not sure what you call that thing. Anyway, so we figured it might be nice to have some memorabilia from them. So we went and had a look and they had a really nice selection of options and we both got a t-shirt each and some form of a warm top. Warm for South Africa, probably not warm for Canada, so probably for autumn. Anyway, I'm not usually sentimental about that kind of stuff. I'm not very sentimental about the schools that I went to or the universities I only went to one that I went to, but I did figure 10 years is a really long time and both Ian and I did all of our studies there, so might be nice to have. So before I just take you through all of the things that we've been ticking off on our to-do list, we did get some new things added. So I showed you the little bit of damage that was done to my car in the parking lot where me and a lady's car collided. I was really hoping that that wasn't going to be a lot of admin, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit. I don't know, hopefully I've done the bulk of it now. But yesterday I needed to do the insurance claim and the insurance assessment. So I needed to send them quite a lot of information, the witness details, who we had to then go find because we didn't take his details at the time. We didn't realize it was important. Pictures of my car all around the sides of the damage so they can do a digital assessment. Things like scans of my new driver's license. I recently got a new driver's license. And then just a whole host of other information like proof of my previous insurance. So this is the kind of stuff that, you know, typically is irritating to do, but it is extra irritating on top of all of the other admin that I've needed to do for our move. Then we planned a trip to the Eastern Cape. I'm going to be uploading that footage. It's not really like a talking video, it's just a video of footage of our trip to the Eastern Cape. We drove down. It's a very far drive, but it's quite beautiful. We wanted to see South Africa a little bit and go say bye to my family and the farms. Unfortunately, shortly before that, I picked up my phone to set the alarm to go to bed, and suddenly the screen just didn't work anymore. The phone was still on, the screen just didn't work. Of course, I YouTubed ways to fix this. I tried all of them and nothing worked. So we went to Samsung in the Somerset Mall to try to fix it, and they said no, it would take like something like 10 business days. But if we wanted it faster, we can just go to the Tiger Valley Repair Center ourselves. So that's what we did. So again, admin that we weren't really banking on needing to do. And then Ian came with me because my other phone, my spare phone, it's lying around here somewhere, is not a very reliable one. That's why I got a new one. It just turns off whenever it wants to turn off and doesn't necessarily turn back on. So Ian just helped by going with me to do that stuff. Luckily, they did say that they were going to repair it under warranty, so I didn't have to pay for any of the repairs. However, I didn't have my phone for the entire duration of our Eastern Cape trip, which I technically like having because yes, I've got this camera to film and yes, I've got the GoPro to film, but I do also film quite a lot and take a lot of pictures on my phone. So that was irritating, but anyway, when we were in the Eastern Cape, they gave me a call that my phone was ready and we can collect it. Tiger Valley is like a 35-minute drive for us, so it's not like that far, but it also takes a bit of like a chunk out of your day. And again, Ian came with me because we figured if we're going to Tiger Valley, we might as well tick some things off of our immigration to-do list, which is what we did. So while we were in Tiger Valley, we knew that we could do our international driver's license there because we did them earlier this year for our trip to Spain. We can't use our ones for Spain, even though they are valid for an entire year, because our ones to Spain were issued on temporary driver's license while we waited for South Africa to print our paper card driver's license. So at the time when we applied earlier in this year for our new driver's license, there was something wrong with the printers. So I think we waited something like 3 months for our physical card driver's licenses. And that's why our previous ones, our previous international driver's license was issued on those temporary pieces of paper. And that is why we had to get new ones now that are issued on our current driver's card. Anyway, regarding the international driver's license, I have read some stuff where people say it's not that important, like you can just use your South African driver's license for that initial period, but I've had other people say it's very important. I'm quite a risk-averse person in terms of some of the ways that I approach, and this is not very expensive and not very difficult to do, so I'd rather err on the side of caution and most definitely go get our international driver's license. It's super quick. But the one tip that I will give is online it said to take one ID photo with, but when we got there they actually needed two. So thankfully I had taken two with, so that wasn't an issue at all. You can also fill in the form online. We filled it in when we were there, but it's probably if you want to save time and effort in terms of when you're there, fill in the form online. I have linked that down below if that is in any way helpful for you. But yeah, once you get there, it's pretty easy. They just process everything, stick it in these little books, print out a little form and have that on their side. The other tip I want to share for South Africans, I know that the issue of printing cards is no longer an issue. People are getting their actual car driver's licenses within like 2 weeks, but if whatever happens again and there's a delay like the one that we had, we did have issues in Spain with the rental car not wanting to accept that our international driver's licenses were issued on temporary licenses, even though we explained to them that in South Africa those are considered valid driver's license because literally the physical printing of the card is delayed. So if you just want to avoid that, when we had the issue in Spain, we did phone AA and we did speak to them, and they've subsequently had other people also have those issues. So they've now drafted a letter from their legal department to explain that temporary licenses in South Africa are considered as valid driver's licenses, and therefore an international license can be issued on a temporary license. Just a random tip so that you don't have the sort of scare that we had when we arrived in Spain. Tired, ready, just wanting to get in our rental car, and then they did not want to issue us the rental car. For Canada, we've also checked for how long we can drive on international driver's licenses, and that for people who are emigrating, it is different if you're going on a type of visitor's visa and so forth. So remember to just check that up if you're going on a different visa type relative to us or a different route relative to us. But for us, as people who are emigrating there to become permanent residents, we only get 3 months of driving on our international driver's license, and then we need to have a Canadian driver's license to drive. We cannot just convert our South African driver's license to a Canadian driver's license. We have to actually redo the test, and I think 2 tests. I think we redo our learners as well as the physical driving around test, and we need 1 document from South Africa that's still on our to-do list to be exempt from the 2-year driving experience part of the Canadian driver's license. So I will still get that, and I will probably update you when we've done that. I think in my first video I gave the update that I have placed some orders for things that are hopefully going to be helpful in our move. We've decided not to get bag insurance, but we are a little bit concerned because of the loss of baggage that has recently been going on. Obviously, we are flying in October, so hopefully the whole summer travel in Europe and Canada will be much less, so that the lost baggage will be less. But what we've done to try and mitigate that risk is we purchased 5 AirTags. Why 5? 4 for each of our bags, and 1 for Mufasa, our big cat, that is also going as a bag. For Mufasa, I also got this self-adhesive stick-on silicone case thing for the AirTag so that I can stick it to the top of his container, because if I just throw it around, people have said that they're not waterproof, and obviously he's going to be in that cage for an extended period of time. So just to keep it safe, I'm going to stick it to the roof of his cage. We have also started testing 2 of the AirTags. So when I go away for work, so I don't have an Apple product. So Ian tracks the AirTag. So when I went away for work into Durbanville, Ian would check like how accurate is it, how delayed is it, does it pick up when I'm driving there, and so forth. So we feel comfortable that at least Mufasa's AirTag and bag number 1 AirTag is working properly, and then we'll still check the other 3 before we go. The other thing that arrived is I bought 2 adapter plugs, 2 visitors plugs that have a South African in and an American out, which I think is the same as Canada. I did check that. And then the next item that arrived, I'm really sorry about the squeaky chair. I will make sure that on the other side I don't buy a squeaky chair, or I hope not to have a squeaky chair. I will be selling my squeaky chair before we go. So we've decided to ship a few things. We're not doing a shipping container. So we're not doing a move cube or a portion of a shipping container, any of that kind of stuff. We are going to do certain boxes of things because we're also going inland. I don't even know, even if we were going to the coast, whether I would have done a shipping container, because we're not taking any furniture, we're not taking any very large items, but we do have items that are important to us that we are willing to incur the expense to ship them in boxes. We plan to use 7Cs. I've linked them down below. I've not used them yet, so I cannot share my experience. This is not a recommendation of using 7Cs. I'm just saying that's the company we intend to use based off of recommendations we received from other people, as well as I typed in an estimate of how many boxes and how many things I think we want to send and to where. and I felt satisfied with the estimate quote I received. So the next purchase I want to show you is one that we purchased in preparation for both packing our bags as well as packing some of the shipping stuff. I didn't know which I would want, so I bought 3 different types of them, and then I will buy more of the one that I like if we do need more of them. And I typically don't like to make single-use purchases. I think on my Instagram I spoke about the one single-use purchase I've made for our move specifically, but these for me are not single-use purchases. These are things that I will definitely reuse, especially with the major changes in season in Canada where you sort of put away your winter stuff for summer and I'm guessing spring. Whereas in South Africa, I don't really have like major winter, that's a lie. I actually do have snowboarding stuff and other snow stuff from when my mom lived in Switzerland. Okay, so I actually do have things in vacuum bags that I put away for seasons where I'm not using them. Anyway, I fully intend on reusing these. These are vacuum bags that I'm going to put our things in and close it up, because some of the things we're shipping, an example of that is my cousin is an interior designer, and over the years as I've moved to new places, she has made these beautiful scatter cushions for me, and they're very special for me and I really like them, and they're definitely going with. So that's an example of something that's going to go in here. Yes, a lot of people tell me I can just take the pillow part out of them. However, I think that they're for the most part unique sizes, and I'd rather just vacuum pack them as is and receive them on the other side as is. That's just the decision I've made. Obviously, everybody else would have maybe made a different decision. So, vacuum packed stuff. More vacuum packed stuff. This one I bought comes with a little vacuumy thing that I thought might be helpful. And then another vacuum pack stuff. So I'm just going to see. This one doesn't actually use a vacuum. You roll it up to get the air out. So I have seen some people love it, some people hate it. I'm gonna give it a try and I will let you know if I love it, hate it, or just feel meh about it. While we're here, and this is lying here, I might as well show you. So for me, I have 2 additional laptops that are not going to go with us. This is my HP laptop, the one that I got before I got my gaming laptop. I got a gaming laptop not because I game, but because I edit YouTube videos, and the gaming laptop was, in my opinion, the best use for my money to get a really good quality, good to edit YouTube video laptop. So my gaming laptop will go with us, but my HP laptop will not. I'm currently busy clearing out my HP laptop, and it's already been purchased by a family member, so I'm very excited about that. I didn't have to put a lot of effort into selling it. My other laptop is lying around here somewhere. Oh, it's over there. I have no idea what brand this even is. It says Prestigio. It's not a brand I'd heard of until I bought this laptop. And it is a laptop that I bought for very, very cheap secondhand around the time I started my business. And I was very, very aware of just keeping my expenses as low as possible because I just started my business. So I needed to manage my expenses out versus my income in. So I think I paid 1,900 Rand for this laptop, and it's one that I use because my laptops are quite heavy and they have quite strong processors. So when I go to clients, I wanted something that I felt more safe to just carry around with me, as well as something that was a lot lighter to carry with me, and I just needed it to be able to, when I chair hearings, to take notes in hearings. So I wanted something just really basic that I'm not going to be worried if it gets stolen or if something happens to it, because it doesn't have all my important information on. And that's why I got this one. I decided I probably might not sell this laptop. I will probably just donate it. And I will donate it in the last week because I'll still be chairing hearings right up until the end when we leave. So that's just a random item. But yeah, my HP laptop getting cleared out, getting sold to a family member. The other thing is that I have 2 spare phones. For as long as I can remember, I have kept at least 1 spare phone all the time in case my current phone that I use gets stolen or broken. That's just like something I did to feel a little bit more secure in terms of being able to stay connected to people. And of course, a lot of the work that I do is via my phone. So thankfully I do that, because when mine broke, I could immediately just put my SIM card into my old S8 and use that for the interim period while mine was getting repaired. But I also have my old S6. Call it luck or whatever that my phone broke right before we went, because I don't think I would have taken my S8 with us as a spare phone. I don't think I would have thought it's a good idea to take a spare phone. But given that mine broke so randomly without me doing anything other than just picking it up, I now am going to be taking my S8 with us as a spare phone for me and Ian to have, just in case anything happens to one of our phones. My S6 I have already sold to a family member, and that has already been cleared and cleaned up, and I will give that to them tomorrow. Final update before I go get on with other things that I need to do that I will take you along for is we have made some headway in terms of selling things, but our apartment doesn't necessarily look any better. It looks quite chaotic. I'm going to show you what it looks like in a moment, just because the things that we've sold have not necessarily left the house. However, I'm going to be spending time with my family from Worcester tomorrow. So we're driving through to Worcester to have a sort of special day with them. And I will be taking a lot of the items that are sold to them. And hopefully that will kind of clear out some space in the living room for me to pile more items that we are shipping or selling. I'm sure there's going to be more updates on where we're at, but let's go sort out a cupboard and let me just also show you what it looks like in here. All right, so this is what it looks like in my office. Those are things that are piled to go to their new homes. The usual, a lot of those books are getting shipped, so that's why I haven't done anything with them. I will just measure out boxes to be able to ship them. A lot of those books are also getting shipped. Our files we need to sort out. That crate has become our crate where we're putting paper that we intend to shred. We're going to be using a shredder from Ian's work just to be able to do that. Down there I've not tackled yet. A lot of that needs to be shredded. Yeah, I'm not sure really what to do with that just yet. I will still figure that out. Still quite a mess on this side, but some of these items do have new homes. And I was painting a frame to be able to sell it, and maybe also just as like a fun arts and craft project in between everything else. So I'll do like a final coat on that and then get rid of that. I'll show you the cupboards. They're still quite full. So at the top we've got random blankets that will go. We've got spare bedding, but some sentimental bedding that one blanket's going to get shipped. Everything else will go. Those stamps for my gran, she's a philatelist, I will ship. Random blankets, no. That is a pee pad for the cats. And then the towels, those are just the ones we're currently using. And that bottom drawer, I'm going to still sort out. Those are random shopping bags. I'm not going to open those cupboards. There's too much stuff in front of it, and I'm sure I'll show you at some point. Onto our bedroom. There's still art that needs to come down. Still need to wash those curtains, let them come down. There's a part of that wall that I didn't paint nicely when I fixed up the stuff behind there. So that's going to be fixed up. That plant does have a new home, and that thing it's in is going to go with us because that is special to me. I know outside looks rough and there's still a lot of plants that need to find homes. Some of them have homes already, but yeah, cats are napping. These bedside drawers still need to sort out. There's an example of some of the pillows that are going to go with us that I spoke of earlier. And one of the things that I did have done is this sliding door was sticking a little bit. So the handyman came and he just fixed the wheels. So now that slides open and closed very easily. Probably get a video of its own, but our bedroom cupboards are still very much full of clothes. Ian has done some sorting, so his looks a lot better than mine and a lot emptier than mine, but mine is still, yeah, not good. All right, very full. There's no need to focus on that. Moving on. All right, here we've got lounge and we've got kitchen. Ian's just making lunch for us. The cupboards inside look a lot better and a lot more empty, but there's still a lot of stuff, and I know it looks very messy, but we're trying to live and also move. So I'll show you some of that maybe later in a different video. There's so much stuff that is standing around here but it is either because it's going to new homes or it's being sorted. Here's an example of the kombucha that I've made to go to somebody tomorrow. And around the floor is just things that are going to their new homes soon, or we're just still sorting it out. That pile is going to their new homes. All of those glassware, some of them have found new homes, some of them have not. On this side, we have the 2 cat containers that I got. The one I bought secondhand, the one that is already set up on top, let me remove that, when I thought that both cats were going to go as excess baggage. But then, yeah, the airline said no, so only one cat is going as excess baggage and the other cat is going as hand luggage. So I will still need to build the bottom one and then just sell that secondhand one that I bought. Then outside, I know it's still looking wild. That is our organic waste bins, our bokashi bins. They will either go to friends or they will go to the community village where we drop our organic waste. Up there, a lot of my plants have come down and found new homes, but still not all of them. My outside plants are still all here and still need to find homes before we go. Okay, so as you just saw, it does look very chaotic and it doesn't look like we've really made progress, but it is progress because a lot of the cupboards are emptying out inside. But yes, there's still a lot to do. I'm just filming this in here because there's lunch noise out there. So sorry, a lot of these videos are going to be a little bit more background noise than I would like. But if I'm going to wait for a silent time, I'm probably never going to get around to filming. Anyway, I'm going to go have some lunch now and then I'm going to try sort out some of the cupboards. And then I realized we don't actually have as much time as I would like because we have social plans that start at 5, but we've just been upgraded to stage 4 load shedding. So although our electricity was off for 2.5 hours this morning when we woke up, it's also going to turn off at 4 again. Anyway, so just factor that into everything. Load shedding is obviously quite a disruption and we wanted to purchase an inverter to make life easier, but the one we wanted, they said they would only have stock in October and we're leaving in October. So there's no point in having purchased that, but it does cause some additional disruptions. And for example, yesterday, one of my meetings that was supposed to be 2 hours was cut short because again, unexpectedly, we upped a level. Anyway, that's just part of what we need to deal with in amidst our moving situation. We haven't had load shedding probably in like a month or so. So sometimes I just forget how disruptive it is and then bam, it comes back and we need to deal with it and that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the final conclusion for today's video. You did witness a bunch of eating, cleaning the kitchen, sorting out my herbal teas that I'm going to give to my cousin tomorrow, making little jars of rooibos tea that I'm going to be gifting to friends that I think will appreciate it or that I know drink loose tea leaves. Because if somebody gives you tea leaves and you don't even have anything to strain them through, it can be quite irritating. I have about 15 minutes of power left, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do some of the things that I would have liked to do that require electricity, but that is fine. I forgot to give you an update on, in my first day in the life video, I was registering for those pre-landing services. I realized they're called something else other than pre-landing. I just can't remember right now. Anyway, I was approved. Ian registered. He was approved. We were both contacted by, what do they call, a settlement officer to set up a meeting. I've not yet done that, predominantly because all of the questions I initially had, I kind of have answers for. But I think Ian will be setting up a meeting because I think people who are seeking employment typically derive more benefit from those meetings than people who are not seeking employment. Or at least that's the kind of message that I've been getting from other people who attended them. I signed up for a few workshops. I didn't attend the one yesterday that I intended to attend because of load shedding, but then I will hopefully attend the other ones that are coming up this week. But we'll have to just see, because obviously if load shedding continues, then that's like chunks of my time online and doing online things, but who knows. I'm not going to talk too much in this video on the financial side of things. I did have that meeting with the accountant that I spoke about, and essentially the main summary that I can give now is that I'm not going to financially emigrate immediately or in the near future. There's no sort of rush to do so. And we just sort of spoke about different implications of that and implications of selling my car. My car is registered to my business. Yeah, so there's not much that I want to talk about in this video about that. I'll talk about that in another video when I talk more detail on finances, I guess, and like how we send our money and what we do with that kind of stuff. But basically the conclusion I derived from my meeting with the accountants is that I'm in no rush to financially emigrate. Something I can do that doesn't require the power being on, that I do need to do before we leave. Put everything together that's going to the people tomorrow, which is actually quite a lot because it's various family members. So I'm just going to try to see how I can safely transport all of that stuff, because a lot of it is glass. And then I don't have that much time tomorrow because I'm facilitating a workshop on Monday that's going to take up the whole day. But at that workshop, I'm also seeing somebody that I'm going to give some of the items to. So I also need to make her sort of package of goodies ready to be transported in a safe way. It also includes some plants and some glass. So I really need to actually figure out if I'm not going to be able to get boxes, I don't think. It's late already on a Saturday, but I'm going to make a plan. And then probably for future things like this, I must make a plan to get some boxes and some newspaper or something to transport all of this in. I think I'm just going to like reuse our whole bunch of the reusable shopping bags that we have, and maybe the blankets that I was anyway intending to donate, and they can either give it back to me or whatever. I will figure that out, but that is my plan for the rest of the time until we go to our social event. Okay, and that is the end of today's video. I'm starting to lose daylight. Anyway, thank you so much for being with me today. If you like this video, like this video. If you enjoy following along on our journey and you haven't yet, please remember to subscribe. If you prefer my other types of content, don't worry, they'll be up and running again soon as I have time to make that type of content in between our move and working and making these videos. I look forward to bringing you that type of content so you don't have to be worried it's not going anywhere. Okay, bye.